Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Scott Coleman, D.R.E.A.M.S Podcast, Locker Room to Reality. We're back for another amazing episode, a very special episode for me in particular. The guy we're bringing on today is a Compton legend, a CIF football legend, California legend, um, just a pillar in the community in the east side of Compton, California, Long Beach, LA, you name it. Everybody knows him. Just to rattle off a couple of episodes, he was just an outstanding football player in the late 80s and early 90s. Just always dominated on the field. All San Gabriel Valley League as a sophomore, which was at that time unheard of. Still unheard of. All CIF, all state, all American. 605 All-Star game participant. The big one is the Shrine football game. If you're from California, know anything about California, to play in the Shrine game is just, that's the best of the best. There's a percentage of those guys that you typically see play on Sundays. And same thing, junior college All-American as well. So as you can see, just by the accolades, this guy is just an outstanding football player, outstanding athlete. Welcome to the show, Mr. Deon Freaky Johnson. What's going on, baby?
The other day, just glad to be here, right? That's what it's about.
100%, man. We got a chance and a choice. That's what they say. When we wake up,
Yeah,
we got another chance, another opportunity to be great, and then we got to make the right choices, man. And I want to thank you personally for helping direct me during my youth to make some of the right choices. So first and foremost, if you guys are watching this for the first time, make sure you go subscribe, like, share, and we're gonna be dedicating this show to one of arguably the best football player to ever lace them up at Dominguez High School, UCLA, defensive lineman, second round draft pick of the New England Patriots, Mr. Bruce Walker. We're dedicating this show to Big Bruce, another outstanding individual. May he rest in heaven. When you hear that name, man, what is that, Bruce Walker, man? What does that mean to you?
man, we go all the way back. Little kids came all the way up from track to football, basketball. We did it all with the ball.
Yeah.
He definitely missed every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just a big personality. It's just, you couldn't miss him. You couldn't miss him. And everybody loved him.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Great heart, great personality. Yeah.
Yeah. When did you see, the greatness in him, and when you knew he would be special?
Man, I can remember 7th grade. It was a track meet.
Mm-hmm.
And big as Bruce was, you would imagine like, oh, this guy's not fast. That's what they thought.
Yeah.
Bruce fell down on the relay running second leg. He fell down, man. He got back up, man. I mean, he put it on him. They saw the wheels. They said, man, how can this big old guy run? He was fat. He was big, tall, fast, and strong.
Yeah. Hey, that's the recipe for success right there. You can't go wrong with that. And for you guys don't know, this guy, man, I mean, he's about six, probably about 6'5", 6'4" and a half, 6'5". I mean, in high school, man, 235, 240, just chisel, rip, and a 4'4", 40 guy at that size, and that's what you're seeing now. That start, this guy, he was ahead of his time for sure.
It was unusual back then. I can tell you that.
Yeah. No, man. Tell me this. You dominated it on every level, right?
Yeah.
You dominated on every level. When did you know you were different? When did you know that you were special?
I knew I was special when I was coming wake you up at 7 o'clock in the morning to get out there and work out. That's when I knew I was special.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what? Hey, you know what they say, man? Hey, hard work works, and
Yeah.
hard work is gonna outdo talent on most occasions. And when you like a gentleman like yourself, when you put the two together, who's extremely talented and that work ethic, it's nothing but good is gonna come out of that. Yeah. Speaking of that, what he's saying, I was probably about 4 or 5 years old, and he would come. I remember you would come wake me up, like early, man, 6:37 in the morning, and we would do drill. We would do practice, do football, do drills, um, just putting in that work, man. And we would go to the fields. We would be in your backyard,
Yeah.
somebody's yard, wherever it was grass. It
We were
was
there.
we were there. We were there, man.
Catching, running, moves, everything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Before
No,
they had,
man.
before they start using all the cones and the circle drills and all that, you've
Yeah,
been doing all that without all that.
exactly.
Yeah.
No, man. I think and it just comes to me that now I think when anyone who like when people ask questions about me and they say I think the first thing that comes up is my work ethic, and we're and that's where it came from. That's just it was inbred in me because I at such a young age, even though I had amazing parents that took me, put me in sports, put in extra work, but I know like so my dad was a predominantly he was a basketball and baseball player, so
Mm-hmm.
he really didn't know football like that. He knew it, but not. I just So I would put in a lot of work at the batting cage and things of that nature, because those were his sports, so where he was really good at. And so you were the one who really I trained the most with as a kid in
Mm-hmm.
terms of football,
Right.
and so so we would I'm just thinking about that, man. So that's man. You got to be thankful for guys like you, man. It's just especially in the environment we came up in. I always say this, like, if it wasn't for sports, I don't know what would have happened, because it's just so many.
Absolutely.
Because I fell in love with with football, and in particular, I played baseball in high school as well, but I wanted to go play college football. It's just
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to keep playing, and so I think it's so important, man, to put our kids in sports. And speaking of that, talk about you know uh, what you got going on now, running a youth football league, coming full circle. Tell us the name of it, and what you guys have accomplished, and who started the league.
Well, started lead about I want to say about in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
We were called the Rancho Dominguez Lobos. We call the Loyalty Lobos now because I believe loyalty is everything.
Mm-hmm.
So this year here, this past season, we went to the Super Bowl. We lost. It was 18-21. But the past 5 years before that, we have 5 year Super Bowl champions. So
Mm-hmm.
we love winning. Creating
Yeah.
a success not just on the field but off the field also for the kids.
Yeah. 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 No. And who did you start the league? I know I seen it in some of your posts. There was a gentleman, Ron. I can't think of his
Bellamy,
Ron
Ron
Bell. Yeah,
Bellamy.
yeah. Talk a little about him, and because it seems like
Yeah,
he played a part in what you guys got going on.
yeah. Ron Bellamy is the commissioner. He's over the AAU, SCYEFL
Okay.
league. He's over.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good guy. He's over the whole thing. But I have my own chapter, which is the Loyalty Lobos.
Okay.
Which is ran by me and my vice president also. So
Mm-hmm.
we putting it together, and I have a couple of other guys that helps out also. So we're putting it
Yeah.
together. And of course, naturally, yeah, your wife is always there also to support you. She's there every
Mm-hmm.
game, never miss a game, no matter where it's at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And speaking of that, man, that's one thing I'm pretty passionate about, as I've just started really learning about relationships. It's something that's not really uh, taught, I think, to us as a kid, especially in our generation. In turn, when I say relationships, is how to communicate, how to really treat your wife, how to enjoy each other. So you've been married for how long? How long now?
We've been married for a while. Boy, my wife don't play that, boy. She's a boss. She's a boss.
Yeah. And I mean, I see you guys traveling,
Yeah,
having a good time.
we travel and all that, and she's really strict on me, because she support me. She's my
100
number one fan, So
yeah,
yeah,
no, 100%, man. I saw uh, Ice Cube. Actually, I was watching an interview with Ice Cube, and he was talking about his wife, and he was just so grateful. And he said there's no way I would have accomplished all this without her. He said I would have been messing up a long time ago, you know.
yeah,
And yeah, no, it's I think in most cases, you see it with the latest NBA champions, the New York Knicks with Bronson. He's been with his wife since high school. I think they were like 14, 15 years old. Not saying that's going to be every case. You might meet her at 25, maybe meet her at 35.
right.
It doesn't matter.
Never know. You just never
Never
know,
know.
right?
You never know. But like they say, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
You're
And I
absolutely right.
you gotta be
Yeah,
ready when the right one is presents the opportunity. You see what I'm
yeah,
saying?
you're absolutely right.
Yeah. What and before we switch subjects here, what do you think? If you were to give any type of advice to anyone regarding navigating a marriage and a successful marriage, and it's going to be tough times. It's going to be ups and downs. There's nothing's
It,
going to be
it,
peaches and cream.
you
But
can't take that away. It's always gonna be that. You know what I mean? But I like I say, never give up. I
mhm,
mean, a marriage is a fight. Also,
mhm,
you just have to work together and stay together and make it
mhm.
solid. It's
Yep,
been
yep.
16 years. I said I do, and I don't regret it not one day.
There you
You
go.
know,
Yeah. It was funny, man. I was thinking about something, and I didn't mention it. We shout out to the Sherwood Park Eagles, is a youth flag football team I helped coach with, and we won a champion. That was the first. The league's been going on, I think, about 3 years, but that was the
okay,
first.
congratulations.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. I'll post it up on social media today. Uh, it was raining. And here's the thing. I'd actually, if I was to give um, these kids a speech, I would say just look at that game. So we had dominated the everyone for the last, say 4 or 5 games.
Hmm.
We dominated the game going into the championship game, right?
Right,
And this game here again, we ran into we played another really good team
a
that
team like
evenly
y'all.
matched, a team like us.
Right.
And so it's a dogfight.
Oh
And
yeah.
it was 8-8, right? At
Hmm.
the end of regulation, we had to go into overtime,
Right.
you know? And so my point to it is like, yeah, you're gonna have the good times where we
You had a
riding high,
bad time.
but
Right.
then you're gonna have them tough times. And what
Yeah.
hey, you're gonna have to hold steady, and it's maximum effort. And right, we're gonna have to hold
Absolutely.
steady, and come on, and we're gonna come out of this thing. Let's just keep fighting.
Yeah.
That's it. As long as we don't quit, we got a shot. Tell me this, man. You know, um, Dominguez High School coach legend Willie Donaldson. You got Keith Donaldson, his son. You know, um, we both played for, right?
Right.
I think what I want you to just before I go, I want you to just kind of speak on those two and what they mean to you. Also, um, just talk about a little bit about people got to recognize that Dominguez High School is a well known when you like Dominguez High School is known nationally for putting
Right.
out great athletes. Tayshawn Prince, Tyson Chandler. That's on the basketball side. Jason Thomas, Richard Sherman. Uh, what's Annette's son that played for the Seahawks?
Jerron Johnson.
Jerron Johnson. Jerron Johnson
Uh-huh.
played at Boise State and played. These two won Super Bowls. You know, um, Cedric Sabalas,
Yeah.
right, and
Hmm.
so, but Dominguez wasn't a good football school, and you guys started a tradition. I don't think you guys really, you don't realize what you did. I'll say you and Bruce Walker was a part, a main part of starting a tradition of winning and people wanting to go to Dominguez because the best athletes went to Compton High School at that time. And so because of that, you got to realize not only did football get better, basketball
The
got
school
better.
in general,
Like the
right? The
school in
school in general,
general, athletes.
right?
At the end of the day, it's the reason why when people are winning, the fans are packed. People love winners. Bottom line,
Right.
people,
Absolutely.
right? So talk about the importance of what Coach, both of the Donaldson men mean to you, and how you guys was able to turn Dominguez into a powerhouse and be a major part of that.
Yeah, I mean, Coach D. I mean, he's my guy. You know, he's
Mm-hmm.
my guy. Him and Coach Tom McCutcheon, they're my
Mm-hmm.
guys right there. They both knew the discipline and all that. You know,
Yep.
Keith was like 4 or 5 years older than us. He was like a
Mm-hmm.
big brother to us, but he had a brain. I mean, Keith knew he was developing the double wing, and he was really good at it. You know, and
Yep.
we had a good relationship. We worked hard. You know, we joked around, of course, because we wasn't that far in age, like
Mm-hmm.
10 years and nothing like that.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
we joked around a lot and all that, but it was always serious when it came down to business. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and like with Coach D, like I said, he's always been a guy that's just like what he say go. And
Mm-hmm.
that was it. It was no exceptions, and I really enjoyed 3 years playing varsity, up under them. So it
Mm-hmm.
was a great
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah. Yeah. No, man, it's just they definitely. If I'm not sure, I haven't looked into it. If he's not in some sort of high school Hall of Fame, he should be.
Oh, he's in a
Uh,
couple.
oh, I was about to say he's got to be.
I,
Yeah, he's got to be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's in a
for
couple. I
sure.
think Keith is going into one. I think either he went into one this weekend, either today or something. But I believe Keith is going to one also.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, rightfully so, man. Rightfully so, man. Um, we grew up in the same neighborhood. On the the east side, Compton, California. Greenleaf. I was Greenleaf, Pan Ams. You was on Iowa. For you guys don't know, everybody talk. NWA. That's NWA was the group that put Compton on the map. So we grew up in the same neighborhood. Actually, Easy E. Remember, he lived right behind me.
Right behind you.
Yeah, right
Right
behind
behind
me.
you.
Yeah,
He's out
and
the gate there all the time. Yeah.
yeah, and
Uh-huh.
Dr. Dre was on
Couple
Thorson,
streets down.
couple streets down. MC
Uh-huh.
Rand lived on my street on Pan Edge,
See?
but two
Absolutely.
blocks down, and Pauline, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we grew up right, right. And I remember, man, during that time, how when NBA came, I'm sorry, NBA, sorry, NWA came out. I remember being just so proud, to be from Compton, to see some guys that
That we know.
that we
They
know.
grew up with us. Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, right. Yeah, like
Right.
yeah. Talk like how yeah, man. Talk a little bit about that time and like, kind of a little bit of your upbringing, how like you growing up.
No, I mean it felt good. I mean, here it is. Eric hung on the block, came around here, and from over on our side, and then we went over
Mm-hmm.
in the Kelly Park area, and we was all around. We all knew each other, Renzo and all that stuff there. So it
Mm-hmm.
was kind of good to see them make it as NWA. It was great.
Yeah.
It was actually great to see them, somebody that you actually know that grew up around you and all that stuff there. It wasn't no, oh, he's a celebrity. He's not a celebrity to me. He's a friend to me.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
all
for sure.
family. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, definitely. And how did you talk about a little bit of here again? You grew up in that time where that's the height of, you know, here again, that's when crack cocaine hit,
Hit the street in the 80s, yeah.
you had to straight
I mean,
gang, yeah,
it messed up a
gang,
lot of lives. I mean, it
yeah,
definitely messed up a lot of lives. I mean, especially on our end. Like I said, we were like I said, Compton was just, where it was at. A lot of
hmm
people got rich, a lot of people got poor, and a lot of people just lost their income
hmm
because once cocaine hit, it was just a different lifestyle for different people. It changed a lot of people's life.
yeah, yeah. No, for sure, man. And it's one thing I always talk about is, um, and I'll let you chime in on this. You know, the first time I went to college at Southern University, in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and I remember saying, I was at a party, and I remember thinking to myself, man, this is the first time I'd have been around black people in a long time, and there's no shooting, there's no fighting. And it just, it just to kind of give you an idea, like where we from, you
You
kind
got to
of,
watch your back every second.
well, yeah, where you kind of stick to your area, because
Right.
if you can't just walk. Like now, I could just leave my house and walk freely. Same, we can walk. I want to go to the store. I'm getting ready to go for a nice jog and get some fresh
Right.
air. Well, we couldn't do that. You got to
No,
stick in your
I'm
area,
with
because if you get caught outside of your area, it could be a bad situation. So and so, I mean, and here's the thing, if we were always hanging out, we were always on the block. We were just playing a lot of sports, and we're always into something. But if if you walked into our neighborhood and we didn't know you, it was going to be a bad situation for you. That's just the way we grew up. I now I feel bad even talking about it. Like, we thrashing people. If you just
But
that's just what it was. That's what it was,
yeah,
right?
but
Yeah.
you know the difference though. The
Mm,
difference was everybody came from the shoulder back then. They
mm.
wasn't playing, all these weapons and all
Yep.
that. No, you
Yep.
lived to see another day. I mean, you have
Yeah.
little scuffles and all that stuff like that,
100%.
but
100%.
you wasn't taking people's lives like that. So
Yeah.
it was a big difference when we grew up. You have a
Yeah.
fight,
Yeah.
people accepted. They accepted their wins, they accepted their losses. It wasn't none of that stuff like I got to go home, get my gun, I got to get my knife, got to do all that stuff
Yep.
there.
Yep.
So it was
Yep.
a
Yep.
difference back then.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now
Yeah.
it's different, and that's why I coach youth football, because I try and catch the kids before they get to high school.
Mm.
I went to Dominguez High School. I coached the freshmen. We were league champions. We won the league champions and all that. But I realized one thing,
Mm.
that when I catch them up there, it's a little too late. But when I catch them younger, in them
Mm.
teens and all, before they get that 14,
Mm.
that 15, 16 like that, I
Mm.
can actually save some kids.
Mm.
So
Mm.
that's why I'm basically into this thing here, to try and make sure I can save some of them. I can't save all of them, but I want to
Mm.
save some of them.
100%, man. 100%. Um, who are some kids? I know, and I know you can't name everybody. So sorry if Coach
You're
Deon
right.
don't name everybody. Who are some kids that's um who you were proud of, who what they've accomplished in the past, and who are some up and comers that you've seen, like, man, this kid got something. That's
Well, we have, as you noticed this year in the draft, we had Takari Davis that
mm,
got drafted. We have
mm,
Miller Moss that got drafted this year here. They played for Loyalty Lobos also. Then we have Jordan Washington at Washington State right now, University of Washington right now.
okay. Yeah.
And it's a lot of kids that's phenomenal. I have a kid that's Tyler Huffman, that was
Mm,
an athlete, man.
mm,
Things happen in life, and he don't get there. That kid we would have saw on TV, but
mm, mm,
things happen in life. And I have a kid right now that's at Long Beach Wilson, Jamel Grisby, that's great. It's a couple of kids I have over there. I
mm,
mean, like you said, there's so many names that you get kind of get lost. But it's a lot of kids that were phenomenal, that I can actually say that's real phenomenal
mm,
football players that we'll see eventually in the next 4 or 5 years, on TV.
mhm,
It's a
mm,
lot of them. So
mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
not trying to miss none of you guys.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
said, I coach a lot of athletes, and a lot of you
Yeah.
guys
Yeah.
are really, really good.
Yeah.
Especially all you kids that went on that 3-peat. You guys know that whole team. You guys are exceptional. So I
Yeah.
definitely want to give a shout out to you guys for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I know. I mean, you mentioned one kid where you know um, that was special and things happen,
Right,
and like where we when you grow up in the inner cities, man, like you know places like Compton, Long Beach, Watts, South Central LA, you know anything can happen at any time, you know,
right,
and like you said, you were that kid that was special, uh,
right.
and that was on definitely a guy that I feel, and I know you feel, and a lot of people feel that would have played on Sundays, no question. I've been around it, obviously, and as I've gotten older, here again, I assess athletes, and I got a chance to get a cup of coffee, a couple years in the NFL, CFL, I played in every league, 10 years professionally total. and I've seen it, and I know the guys that Tyrone Miles are the two guys that I'm like, these guys would have played on Sundays if not for certain situations. Kind of talk about, I guess you don't have to go into detail in terms of the incident, but just talk about what I guess what could have happened different if you could rewind time, and you can kind of elaborate as much as you want on that
What?
situation.
Well, I wouldn't say different because like I said, some things you can't avoid, and some
Mm-hmm.
things if it happened, it would happen. I mean, I wouldn't change it. Put it
Yeah,
that way. I wouldn't
yeah,
change it because what I mean. We all friends. When you grow up as friends and things happen, it happens. It's no pointing the finger. I don't point no fingers. I don't want no fingers pointed at me. We
yeah,
we we buddies. We gonna always be like brothers, and that's just simple as like that.
mm-hmm.
That's how I feel about things like that.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I mean it's just here again. Not to go into too much detail. Deon was unfortunately shot as he was just coming off of his second year of a All-American campaign at Valley Junior College, getting ready to sign a Division I scholarship. So many schools across the country were recruiting him, and that detoured things, and it happened. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's a testimony to help the next kid, and that's what you're doing, right? You still here at the end of the day. That's the most important thing.
Absolutely, absolutely,
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely. It
yeah.
don't hey,
No.
like you say. You can be on top of things. It only take a second to mess up, and that's why I'm trying to teach these kids.
Mm-hmm.
One bad mistake can really cost you. It can cost you your life. It can cost you your career. It can cost a lot of things, but it can cost losses. It's just losses in general. I couldn't pass the physical after that happened to play
Yeah,
football. So I
yeah,
I actually stole my own dream. But
yeah.
hey, guess what? I'm living a better life now. I'm happy. That's the
100%.
whole thing right there. I'm happy, and that's what counts.
100%, man. 100%. I see you. And then, it's one thing too, we talk about, I know you mentioned like catching kids early. And I don't know, just to kind of, so I'm sure some people that grow up in Compton know this, some people don't. So my first year playing for Greater Compton youth football organization, uh, my quarterback was Orlando Anderson, known as Baby Lane from
Mm-hmm.
Southside Crip, who allegedly everyone's they had all these videos out of, he was the guy that shot and killed Tupac Shakur, rest in peace, and rest in peace to Baby Lane, who was another well-known, respected uh, guy from the neighborhood, and he was a great athlete, man.
Oh yeah.
But it just kind of, and actually, I'm just gonna just kind of give a rundown for people. So here again, I met him. He was my quarterback, and because he was a couple years. I always played up A. He was a couple years older than me, but I always played with the older guys, and then he played that year, really good player, and then he went into uh he was like, I was 8, so he was 10, because it was 8 to 10, and then he went to jail, man, at like 11, like YA, like youth authority. So he was in jail for a couple years, and so I remember uh running into him again in his neighborhood probably a few couple years later, and I'm like, man, where you been? Oh man, I just got out. So people got to realize, man, just to kind of give a little rundown, mom, you know parents, single parent, right? And he lived with his uncle, who was Keefe D, right? Who's on trial. I'm not sure what's going on with that situation. He's just inbred in it. How can a kid? It's tough for a kid to go down the right path when this is just embraced in your, like,
He's
you ain't got a
already fighting.
chance. Yeah, you ain't got a chance. You know,
Right.
and then what happens is, allegedly, when his uncle was in jail, when he got out, he had connected in jail. He had connected with some Mexican mafia guys, and that's how they started pumping, allegedly, drug. The providing them with a large quantity of cocaine. So now we making money. Like these, he was driving BMWs, wads of money, jewelry. Like, you see what I'm saying? So what is the kid supposed to do? That's all he knows. You see what I'm saying? And when you grow up in the hood, that's what's glorified. You know,
Yeah, you think
like
it's a big opportunity? Yeah,
it's an opportunity, and you
yeah.
like our parents, the coaches, guys like yourself, telling your parents. I say this story, they tell them, hey, y'all need to walk away from this. I know it looks good now, but down the road, you'll understand. And when you're
Right.
young, all you thinking about is the now.
It's that money. That money.
And everybody we talking about, unfortunately, um, are no longer with us. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And all the guys who was making all that money, who had the fancy cars, who had all the because in the hood, it's the gangsters and the drug dealers who got all the girls. And so you're young, you want the girls too, but that's what's they gonna gravitate. You can't get them because they got them, and so you're like,
Mm-hmm.
man, maybe if I get some of that money and I hang with them, But here again, thankful for having wonderful parents, having guys like you who kept me on the right path. Hey man, let's keep the main thing the main thing. Let's
Oh yeah,
let's get up
absolutely.
out of here. Yeah, man. It's but I just kind of told because so when you tell the next kid, hey man, I know that looks good, but this let's stick to something positive. You got something here, right?
Right.
And
Right.
especially now, man. Before talk about what's going on now in high school with NIL deals. Kids are making, dude, you got kids making
They're
six
rich.
figures,
They're rich.
and a couple few making millions in high school. What
They're rich.
hey,
They're rich.
what if you was coming up in this era doing what you did,
Exactly. Exactly. And you know what? I tell the kids that.
Yeah.
I said, what y'all don't know is if I'd have came up like now, like y'all getting
Mm,
paid like that, well,
mm.
I'll be rich. I told them, I said, man, I'll be super rich.
Hey,
Yeah.
I know that. Hey, and then you got a personality too, especially then. Hey, you were marketable. It had you on commercials and all kind of stuff. Billboard. I know you. You'd have had that old cereal. Hey, Freaky Flakes. Hey, no
Oh
man.
yeah.
Hey, no for sure, man. Hey, um, as we kind of start winding down a little bit, man. Um, First of all, hey man, give a shout out to your big bro, man, Anthony Robinson.
Absolutely.
Man,
He's doing good.
I'm so proud of him, man. Um, spent the majority of his life incarcerated, but he's been out for a long time. Productive citizen now, doing good. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
man, shout out to Big, as we call him, Big Ant Dog, but Anthony Robinson, man. No, man. Yeah. And all your brothers, rest in peace, man. Steve, to your big bro Steve, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man, y'all were just just had each other's back no matter what. Y'all might fight each other, beat each other
All the
brains
time. Hey,
in.
you know what? They don't believe it. Scott,
Hey,
they don't
hey,
believe me. It was tough.
hey, I'm gonna give you two situations. I remember Big Ant beat up Steve, and I will never forget this, man. And Steve ran. They squared up. Man, Ant got the dusting him off, and man, he dropped. Hey, Steve jumped up, and Ant used to raise pigeons. Ant was a big.
Right.
I started raising pigeons. I raised
Uh-huh.
pigeons. That was a big reason. People get a
Right.
kick out of me raising pigeons.
Uh-huh.
Like, tell them about it. And Ant loved his pigeons, boy.
Oh
And I
yeah.
never forget. And Steve took off and karate kicked his pigeon cage. The whole thing, just fell apart. I said, man, and I said, man, I'm gonna kill him. Hey, boy, I said, hey,
Oh man.
and the last one, I remember. You probably remember this. I got a weird memory where I remember these old things.
Uh-huh.
You were we were playing flag football on the street, but on the sideline, you get tackled. Man, you was
Oh yeah.
running. Man, you was running, and Tony, your brother Tony,
The
came.
Pope.
And he hit you. Yeah, he hit you. Man, you flew into the pole. Your hands the pole. Hey, when you jumped up, he started crying. I'm going to tell mama. Hey, hey, man. Hey, you had to be
Oh
tough coming
yeah,
up and like we
it
playing
had to
flag football
be.
on the street, but if you get caught
Yeah.
on the
Oh yeah.
sideline, man, you
Ooh,
get
yeah.
tackled into concrete, man. We were crazy, dude.
All the time.
Damn. Yeah.
All the time. Yep.
Yeah,
All
man.
the time.
But no, man. Hey, um, as we like I said, as we start winding down, man, we talked about Dominguez High School and what it's meant to the state of California and just the athletes produce some great athletes. Hey, give me your top five. I'm gonna say football players, not athletes. Top five Dominguez High School football players that you of all
Right.
time. Yours. You can include you too.
Well, that's the one. I'm the one. I wear.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
won number
yeah,
one. All 3 years.
yeah,
I got to put me number one. But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, Anthony. I would say Anthony Green. He kind of like he came and Dominguez took third place that year. The year before got there. So then we come up and with it's like a lot of sophomores, about six sophomores: Malcolm Hunt, Isaac Walker, Terrell Mason, Bruce Walker, and me. And it's probably somebody else I just can't remember right now, but they know they was on that team, whatever, on
Mm.
the sophomore year. But I would say Anthony Green,
Okay.
I would say Bruce Walker, Tyrone Miles, and I would say Jason Thomas, and of
Mhm.
course me. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah.
like I said before, the Hunt brothers, man. Marvin Hunt was
Hmm.
especially great. He was especially
Hmm.
great. We had a lot, like you said, a lot of athletes. Period.
Hmm.
Trendale Williams was a great quarterback. I loved him, respect him. 10th grade. I mean, hey, he threw me a lot of touchdowns. 10th grade.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
those would be my
Mm-hmm.
five right there. My top
Mm-hmm.
five would be me, Anthony Green. I would say me, Anthony Green, Bruce Walker, Tyrone Miles, Jason Thomas,
Hmm.
and who was the other one? I said one more person.
Bruce Walker.
And Bruce Walker,
Yeah,
of course.
yeah, yeah.
Well, he's automatic. When I said
Yeah.
me, no. When
It's
I
you.
said me, I mean when
Yeah,
I say
yeah,
me, I say him. You know what I mean? It was
yeah,
he.
yeah,
If it was him, right here, right now, and not me, he'd say the same thing. Like he'll
yeah,
tell you right
yeah,
now. He'd say,
yeah.
"No, boy, freaky, my
Yeah,
boy, freaky
that's-
the man. He the man.
oh
And
yeah,
that's what
yeah.
that's what I always loved about him. He always kept it real when it. I mean,
Hmm.
if I would go up to UCLA, he at UCLA, he tell him like, dude, he get out here, y'all don't want to see that.
Nah.
He always kept it real, man, because
Hmm.
everybody knew. Just like Ike come home
Hmm.
and he see me like guys at Oregon, man, they wouldn't be able to see you, man. They wouldn't be able to
Hmm.
see you. A
Hmm.
lot of people, if you had to see me play before you sit up and say that I wasn't the best. If you don't know
Hmm.
nothing about it, if you ain't saw me play, trust me, you
Yeah,
missed the show. You
yeah,
missed the
Mr.
show.
Show. You definitely did. Definitely. I remember being in the stands. It was a game at Dominguez High School. Y'all playing Linwood, Charles Levy at QB, and they talking about they was and it was yeah man they was over there running their mouths. I don't know why they was even over. Some of them was on outside just talking about he ain't yeah he's slow this and that. Hey man, I just remember next thing you know they was right. It was just as they start running their mouth. You caught they kicked it off to you 89 yards. 90 yards, something like that, 89, 90 yards, something like that, going to the crib, man. Hey, man, I tell people, man, like I don't know if they still have rivals like when we
We
came
had
up.
real rivals. We had
But
real rivals.
if we saw you outside of it was on
Yes.
site. Man,
Yes.
talk about some of those Linwood Dominguez games and some of the athletes that participated in that, man. How serious it was.
Man, look, the Linwood and Dominguez was a real rivalry. I mean, my sophomore year, they had Baby Johnson, rest in peace, great athlete. Tracy Mayo. They had a running back Turner. They had Chuck Levy. They had a bunch. A bunch. I mean, that was a D1 team. They
Mm-hmm,
had a very special team.
mm-hmm,
We come in here my sophomore year, and we both going for the league title. It was the last game of the league. We going for the league title, man.
mm-hmm.
And I can remember this here. We're down. We're down. I think we had two. It was 2-6, 2-7. We were
Yeah.
down. It was 2-7. It was like 15 seconds left in the game, man. And we on like the 22-yard line, man. And Keith calls a timeout.
Mm-hmm,
So we in the huddle and everything. And he like, well, who want the ball? I said, I do. You know, I'm a cowboy. I said, I do. It's raining. It's 15 seconds. I tell Trendale, I say, man, just throw it to the cone. Just throw it to the corner of the end zone. It don't even matter. I get it. Don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Man, he threw it to the corner of the end zone, man. I catch this touchdown pass. We win the game, man. Everybody just erupt the field. Everybody just
Mm-hmm.
come on the field, man. They got to
Yeah.
get everybody off the field. So
Mm-hmm.
we do the extra point, and then it's like
Mm-hmm.
2 seconds on the clock. We just kicked the ball 10 yards, and we won the game. That was the first time Dominguez had beat Linwood, and I don't know, I don't
Yeah.
think they ever beat him, but that was the
Yeah.
first time they beat him. We
Mm-hmm.
beat him all 3 years I was there, man. It was very special. But
Yeah.
I give props to Linwood. Linwood has always had a lot of talent, man. A lot of
Yeah, they
talent, man.
did. It was some dog
A
fights.
lot of talent,
It was
man.
some dog fights, and I always talk about that, man. Before I wrap up with my last question, like there's moments like that that kind of help define you as an athlete, and I kind of always talk about, we were playing it was Saugus, and it was we were having a shootout my senior year. We were having a shootout, and they scored on us, and I think it was like, man, 20 seconds left in the game, so they celebrating because we got one timeout left. They think it's over.
You caught the pass.
Hail
You
Mary.
caught the pass.
Yeah, hey, end up catching a Hail Mary with no time left. And they was sick, man. Everybody, our fans just rushed the field. And you know what? And I remember, this is funny what you said. I remember playing arena football. My head coach was Jay Gruden, John
Okay.
Gruden's little brother.
Right.
We actually, we had him on the show too. He was the head coach for the Redskins, now Commanders. He was offensive coordinator in the NFL. NFL coach. But anyway,
Right.
before that, he was our head coach for the Orlando Predators, arena football, and we were playing in Georgia. And I remember, man, it was like 10 seconds left in the game, dude. It's fourth and we on like the 7-yard line. It's fourth and goal, and they trying to talk about it, what's there, what's this, and he was like, man, he just like, because that's what different. You got a coach who played too, who a baller.
Right.
He was
knows.
like,
Right.
he trying to they trying to dissect the play. They gonna do this. Everybody, he said, hold on. He was like, who wants the ball? And I said, I do.
Exactly.
He said, he straight up, he was like, what you want? He said, you want a slant, fade, or back shoulder fade? I said, give me a back shoulder, because he gonna press. I know he gonna press. Let's go back shoulder. He put that thing. Joe Hamilton was our quarterback who played at Georgia Tech. I think he might have won. He won a Heisman, I believe. Hey, back shoulder, put that thing. Hey, touchdown, baby. You know what it is. And so, but you just, when I caught that Hail Mary, similar to what you're saying, it's just, for whatever reason, man, it triggers something. You think you can always get it done. Somebody asks, who want, man, give me the ball. I can do it.
Yeah.
I know I can do it. Because it's like I've had that, you know what I mean? You have that success. You have, man. It's like those moments are so pivotal, man. But man, one question like we always ask, all our guests is, if you can go back, Deon Johnson right now, and you sitting down, you having a conversation with 16, 17-year-old Deon Freaky Johnson, like, what does that conversation look like? And what's the best, what do you think, what's the best advice you can give?
Not to be a follower. I mean, we were never followers. We were always leaders, but what I've noticed in life is when you follow, you don't have a long life. So not to be a follower is the number one thing right there. Always be positive, never give up, and don't be a follower.
Yeah, that's great advice. That's great advice, man. And it's like, as I wrap it up, and we got so many crazy stories, but just a defining moment. We talking about growing up in Compton, California. I'm my freshman year in high school, and we walking down Alondra, with the guys in it from the neighborhood. BJ, rest in peace. Benjamin Jones. We walking down the street, and it was a blood gang, Hollywood. And they were Bloods of Piru. I can't remember. They was Piru, Hollywood Piru. And he was yelling, he yelling at them, neighborhood crap, And we walking across the street thinking we about to go fight. Man, they pulled out, they waited until we got across the street. Because, we love to fight. That's what we do, right? We love to fight. We somebody early, we love to, man, dude start shooting. And for the and like me, I had no fear. And that for the first time in my life, I was scared. They started shooting and I could feel the bullets going past my head, dude. And they was hit. Remember, there was a grocery store on Pan and Alondra, and I could see
Iowa
bullets.
Iowa Market.
Iowa Market. They were hitting the wall. And I'm like, I just knew I was dead. I was like, I was talking about this last night. I was like, if you grew up in the hood or any inner city, we all had a moment where you thought it was over. And what I thought it was over, because the dude, I never forget, they was in a powder blue Cadillac, and they jumped in the Cadillac, dude hanging out the window, but he took off down Alondra. I'm thinking they gonna come get us. And man, I couldn't even run. I was so scared. I remember that, like, being out of, like, hyperventilating. And I had never felt that before. And at that moment, I knew, hey man, I always tell people, man, they say, man, how you grew up in Compton and this? I said, man, I didn't want to get shot and I didn't want to go to jail. And but that moment that changed everything for me. I was like, man, I'm cool. That's my last when I stopped hanging. That's when I stopped hanging out. It's all love. It's all love. We brothers. But yeah, that made the decision. That was it for me, man. That was it, dog. That's it. Hey, man. But hey, where can they find you on social media, man, and support your football
we
team?
on there. We on Facebook, Rancho Dominguez Lobos, and we on also Instagram, Rancho Dominguez Lobos.
There we go, man. Hey, don't forget to subscribe, share, like. Hey, man, D.R.E.A.M.S Podcast, Lock to Reality, man. This was an absolute pleasure for me, and man, thank you for coming on. I always say the most valuable commodity is time. We don't get it back, and for you to bless us with your time, extremely grateful, man. D.R.E.A.M.S Podcast, Locker Room to Reality. That's discipline, respect, education, accountability, maturation, success. But another episode down, man. It's a great show. Mr. Deon Freaky Johnson, man. We appreciate you, baby. We out.
All right, for sure.